Morning, it's Friday, April 9th, coming up on 8 a.m. I've already got the tarp down. I had some lightning last night, but fortunately it didn't rain. Had good sleep last night. Got some coffee cooking over there. I'm going to slowly put everything together and then get ready to head up the trail. This is standing Indian shelter. So I think I've got 22 miles or something like that to Franklin, which will be my next big stop. I'll probably do 10 or 12 today, maybe more if I feel like it. And then the next day, hitch a ride into town. I'll check in later on up the trail. Look at this beautiful view. So I've been hiking along. It's 11 a.m. and met another hiker, Bear, at the shelter. We've been hiking along together and chatting this whole time, and miles have been flying by. And I haven't stopped for breakfast yet, so I'm going to find a place to sit down here in a few minutes and enjoy some breakfast, kind of get my bearings. It's been a really pleasant morning. So I get asked over and over and over again why I'm hiking barefoot. And the short answer is because I think it's the best way to do it. The longer answer is I've just basically discovered over time and trial that for me it is the best way to do it. And there's a reason why we have the feeling underneath our feet. It's there. It's part of, it's baked into how we work, how our nervous system works. And when you try and step on something, when you put your foot down and you feel something sharp underneath, you don't even have to think about it. There's a reaction that's sent to your, the information is sent to your brain. Your brain tells your foot to, or tells your leg to draw back your foot, and it keeps you from hurting yourself. Well, the same is true in the way that you walk. If you take off your shoes and walk barefoot, you walk differently than you do with shoes, because with shoes you're basically masking that feeling underneath. And so the difference in the way that you walk translates into force that's applied to your joints. You walk softly when you walk barefoot. And I found over time that because of that change in the way that you walk, you actually have less joint pain, joint troubles, back troubles, hip troubles, and so on, because your body doesn't want to hurt itself. So basically, when you mask the feeling underneath your feet, you stomp. I do. I have for years and years and years. And I used to go hiking and I would have knee troubles and all sorts of problems. Not to even mention all the problems that come with shoes, like blisters and funguses on your feet because your feet stay wet all the time, and all the other myriad of problems that come along with it. It takes a lot of getting used to, and it's not for everybody. But I definitely don't even, I wouldn't even recommend it. It takes time to build up a tolerance to it, and over time you develop an enjoyment for it. I actually crave having all of those feelings. Now there's bad that comes along with it too, like gravel, and cold gravel is the worst. Another benefit is the balance that you get. When you can feel what you're stepping on, you have a lot better balance. I find that I can go off of and climb up on rocks at really, really steep angles, which I don't think I'd be able to do in shoes. There's lots of benefits, and you know, people ask, well, you know, what about glass? I can say in four years of being exclusively barefoot, I've walked across a lot of glass, and I can think of one instance where I had a little bitty piece that happened to be sticking up just right, and it stuck in my foot, and I grabbed it, pulled it out, and went on about my way with no issues. So I personally have never had any injuries, really, any injuries to speak of, really, related to walking over glass. And besides, you watch where you step when you're walking barefoot to keep from hurting yourself. So obviously you will see glass most of the time and be able to avoid it. There's always danger. You could cut your foot, lay it open. You could stub your toes, which I've done many times and do at least a couple times a day. Every once in a while I'll do it a little more seriously and you know, break the skin, cause some bleeding. I did the entire Foothills Trail with zero issues until the very last day. I was walking along talking to someone who wasn't paying attention. I was excited about finishing the trail, and I kicked a rock with my pinky toe and I split the skin open. But I, you know, washed it off, dried the blood and everything, let it congeal, and then I went on about my way. And then I paid closer attention, because pain is a very good teacher. So one of the things that does scare me about being barefoot out here, it's not cutting my feet, it's not stubbing my toe, it's none of that stuff. It's hookworm. Hookworm does scare me. Basically what that is a parasite that the larvae live in dirt. It's passed through human and animal feces. The larvae live in the dirt, and when you walk across the dirt, the larvae can actually get on your skin, on the bottom of your feet, and they can penetrate the skin and make their way into your blood system. And then they'll eventually, as they go through their life cycle, they end up in your small intestines, and they will hang on and they'll leach important nutrients, you know, out of your blood. And they can actually cause damage to people over time. They can affect cognition and brain health, and that's what scares me. So I've been barefoot exclusively for about 4 years now, and I think it'd probably be a good idea when I finish this hike to go get a parasite sweep, and maybe even make it a habit to get one, I don't know, once a year or so, and keep up with that, because that is something that scares me. Ended up taking a pretty long break back there at the Carter Creek shelter, Carter Gap shelter. It's now 2:21. I feel refreshed. I'm gonna keep walking and get a few more miles in today. So I was walking up the trail, and Ron, Mr. Sasquatch himself, he's like 6'6". Guy takes a probably 4.5 foot stride every time he steps. Lucky dog.
What a view.
Caught up to me, and then we've been walking together for a little while, and we came across this awesome view. So beautiful. It almost looks like it's not real.
It really does. The depth of the mountains, the tree lines, amazing. Amazing.
Oh, wow. Ron says never walk past the view, and he is right. Oh my God, look at this.
Should be a law of the trail.
Wow. Ended up stopping just under 12 miles at Betty Creek Gap. And here's my setup for this evening. Definitely expecting a little bit of rain. Found a perfect little pocket underneath the rhododendron. This is a great spot. There's lots of really good spots here. So I'm able to set up in a diamond and get some good coverage and keep it up high. Kind of take advantage of some of the natural cover here as well. So these are my accommodations for the night. Morning. It's 7 a.m. April 10th. I'm at Betty Creek Trail campsite. Started raining about 5:20 this morning. Tarp's done a great job. I'm getting breakfast together, getting packed, and then planning to head to Winding Stair Gap. That's 12.2 miles, and that's the jump out point where I can go to Franklin. However, I'm going to miss the post office closing today, so I may stay another night out here and then head in Sunday sometime so that I can hit the post office Monday morning, get resupplied, and then get on. Alright, leaving Betty Creek, 7:57 a.m. Got the rain gear on. It's just barely drizzling, so no big deal. I'm headed to Winding Stair Gap. It's 12.2 miles, at which point I will decide whether or not I want to jump out to town. If I can find a real cheap room, I may stay tonight and tomorrow night. But regardless, I'm going to be stuck here in Franklin till Monday for the post office. I gotta wait for the post office to open. I don't think I can make it to town before the post office will close today. So we're just gonna make our miles, and we'll either stay camp close to Winding Stair, or we'll get a hotel if I can find something real cheap. I wanted to show my rain gear setup. I've got a Frog Togs jacket for the top, and then, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a rain kilt for the lower half, made out of DCF from Z-Packs. I really like this setup, and of course I don't wear any shoes, so I don't have to worry about that part of it, but it seems to do a pretty good job. Here's my view this morning. Beautiful. Foggy, light misting rain, way blazes, rhododendron, mountain laurels. I'm gonna enjoy the heck out of it. I know there's a killer view out there, but it's too foggy to see it. If I mentioned I love North Carolina, I would really love to live here someday. All the states I've been to 48, the 48 contiguous states. I'm gonna have to say North Carolina is my favorite. There's something about the mountains, the rhododendron, the people, the weather, just everything about it feels like home to me. This is Albert Mountain, and there's supposed to be a fire tower up top. Good stuff. There's the fire tower. "100 miles on the AT. Woohoo! Awesome. This is just on the other side of Albert Mountain. It's having an awesome day so far. I talked to this kid I met, Lightweight. He's got a Zimmer built backpack. It's really cool. It's tiny. And that's how he got his trail name. He's rocking a real low base weight. I talked to him back here at the fire tower just before the 100-mile mark. Asked him where he was staying, or you know what his goals were. And he's staying at the Gooder Grove hostel. So I called the guy and have reserved a bunk for tonight. Looking forward to that. I may get a full-on hotel room tomorrow night. Not sure yet. Gonna just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. I've never had the hostel experience, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. So Ron and I are walking over the hill in the rain and we came across an oasis. Thank you so much, guys. What are your names?
I'm Papa Cap.
And Shots.
And I'm Shots. Yeah. We're from Columbia, South Carolina.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good to meet you guys, and thank you. It's been awesome. They even had vegan options. That was the best part.
Our pleasure.
Here's some more hikers coming in. We're gonna make some room and
Come in. Drive.
so we got 3.6 miles. So we get to the pickup point to head to town, and looks like the rain's let up a little bit. Trucking along through the rain, trying to get to the shuttle pickup point by 3 p.m. It's 2:25, and we've got about a mile and a half to go, so I reckon we'll make it. We made it. It's 3:06, and we made it to Winding Staircase Gap. All right. So I made it to the Gooder Hostel, and my plan is to hang out here tonight. It's a good bunch of folks. I'm looking forward to the experience. So I had an excellent day today. Good hike. It was 12 point something miles. Hitchhiked into town. Got to the Gooder Grove hostel right up there on the hill. And Colin took me over to the Mexican restaurant, Mi Casa. I had some vegetarian fajitas and hogged out and had a big margarita. Decided to walk myself back to the hostel and hang it up for the evening. But I just wanted to check in and end the day. Very good day. I'm going to take a 0 tomorrow since the post office is not open on Sunday. Try and get some video editing, maybe a couple other things done, and then get back out. So Monday morning I'll be there when the post office opens, get my box, and then get back on trail. So I'll do a little check-in tomorrow, hopefully. So here's the hostel. I'm enjoying this place so far. I like the folks. This is my first day at a hostel, and so far so good. I like it.